Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine.
I have a student who plays in an orchestra in Turkey. She's in a state paid orchestra, and she plays an instrument called the ney, Nez. I've never heard of it before I met her. It looks like a flute, but it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah, you told me that a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. She got divorced, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, is she married again
Well, she only got divorced in April.
in April?
Yeah. But is she married again? No. She got another cat.
Not a can't. Oh, okay,
She had one cat.
okay.
And she, it's a funny story. She lived in a house with seven cats.
Oh,
Six
seven.
of them, yeah, six of them belonged to her husband. And then she found this little injured kitten on the street and she brought it home with her. And that became her cat.
Mm-mm.
And when she moved, she took her cat with her. But her cat used to stand at the window and cry because he wanted to go outside and play with the other cats. And I kept on saying to her, you know, buy another cat for him. And
Oh,
she said she wasn't going to do it. Then one day when she was outside, she saw this little kitten. It was all by itself and it looked sick. She knew there was something the matter with it. She picked it up and brought it home. She showed it to me on the screen. I thought it was a little rat. That's what it looked like. It was very tiny,
oh,
didn't open its eyes.
yeah.
It looked like a little rat. And all it did was just making these funny little sounds. And I thought, oh my God, you know, it's ugly. And she said to me, wait, in a couple of weeks, it's going to look like a cat. And she brought it to the vet, and the vet, it was sick. And the vet kept it for a couple of days and made it better. And I saw she kept showing it to me. And every week it began to look more and more like a cat. Now it's a beautiful little kitten. But what it looked like when I first saw it, I never imagined it would look so cute.
Oh,
So
okay.
she didn't get a husband, but she got a cat. It's the
But
same thing with dogs. They also look very funny when they're born.
okay. But why did she not give birth to a baby? She married
Well,
so
she doesn't want children. She wants to devote her life to music. There's an article, read it on what do you call it? On Engo. It
mm,
says 44% of Americans do not want children. That means almost half.
oh yeah.
I personally think it's a mistake.
Yeah, because the happiest period of time for a woman is to bring up their kids, right?
Well, I don't know if it's the happiest time, but when you have children, you get a lot of pleasure from them.
Sure.
When they're little, they're cute and they start learning things. You become proud of them as they get older. You're proud of what your children do. Then you become friends with your children, like
Yeah,
you're friends with your parents.
yeah. That is the most important thing in a woman's life.
I think so. I would be very upset if I did not have a child.
Sure.
If I didn't have one, I would have adopted one.
Okay.
If I couldn't have one, but I would have adopted one. So there are women and men, both, who don't want children. Almost half of the Americans don't want children. They give their excuses, which I think are very selfish reasons. They don't want the responsibility. It costs a lot of money to bring up children. It does. and they want to be able to travel. Well, you can take your kids with you when you travel. Why? I used to take my kids with, you know. Look, my father dragged me around the world. Didn't take me to Asia, but he took me all through Europe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can take your children with you. And then, when you're old, if you have a good relationship with your children, and you will have a good relationship with your children if you're a good parent.
Oh sure.
Okay. I mean, occasionally, sometimes your child gets mixed up with the wrong kind of people. That can happen. But in general, if you're a good parent and you teach them good values, when you're going to be old, they will be there for you. Like if your parents needed something, wouldn't you make sure they had it?
Mm.
Like if you couldn't do it, you would hire somebody to take care of them, wouldn't you?
Oh sure.
Well, this is what I mean. But if you don't have any children, who's going to do it? Nobody.
Mm.
Okay. I worked in a daycare center where they were all old people. And some of them did not have children. And they said they were very sorry. They said that, when they were young, they didn't want the responsibility. But now that they're old and they look at their friends who have children and grandchildren, they're very jealous.
Mm.
So you
Yeah.
better hurry up and find a wife.
I don't have enough money. I need
In Canada, you don't need a lot of money to get a wife. Often two students get married. You know, would you marry a white girl?
I don't think that I should be realistic. I I'm not looking for a pretty or pretty Chinese girl or white girl. I just I wanna I first of all I should find a job and make some money.
But would you marry a white girl?
If she likes me, I like her. That's okay. But
Okay.
I'm from a very small town in China. Even though I bring a Chinese girl to my home, it's a bungalow. It's just the living conditions. Even though we're not gonna live there, but I feel a little bit embarrassed. Do you understand? Yeah.
I know what you're saying, but you shouldn't feel embarrassed because she would understand that's your parents' home.
Oh yeah.
That's where your parents. Even here, people will bring their husband or the wife or the girlfriend to visit their parents, and their parents live in these old wartime homes. They live in these horrible little homes.
And
But that
and
doesn't mean they're going to live in it.
and you don't support mixed marriage, right?
In Canada, the only thing I have against mixed marriage, I have friends from all races. What
Oh.
I have against mixed marriage is when the child grows up. I had a couple friends who had white mothers and black fathers. And they said when it came to dating, the black families didn't want them because they said they were part white. The white families didn't want them because they said they were part black. That's where it becomes a problem when the children start dating. Now, it's becoming less of a problem now because there's so many mixed marriages.
um,
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
that is a problem. I understand.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just look at the black people. There's so many that are very light skinned. That's
Oh yeah,
because there's been a lot of mixed marriages in their family.
I think they are cute. Some guys working in the Pearson Airport. They are black man, but with the lighter skin. I think,
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because there's been a lot of mixed marriages. Oh, we're running out of time. I'll just tell you this last story. I have a friend who's black, and her brother is married to a white woman, and they have two children. One child is almost white, and the
Mhm.
other one's dark black. And when my friend went to visit, she's black. And he said to her, "Oh, look, I'm black like you. My brother's white like my mother." Like he noticed it right away. But even her three children are all different colors. One is very black, one is like sort of light brown, and one is almost white. And her husband was black. Like you never know because they're so mixed. Okay.
Bye. Okay.
Okay. You're on tomorrow?
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.